I have a crush on a guy, I get all giddy and excited and a little nervous. And then my sister just reminded me that every time I get like this, it turns out that the guy is immature or suffocating or avoidant or anxious or something that leads to the ultimate demise of the relationship.
And do you know why that is, ma'am? It's because you only get giddy for men that are out of your league, ma'am. And those men have options. And maybe you're not the best option, ma'am. That's why it never works, ma'am. Have you ever thought about that? It doesn't matter if you're a woman or a man. When you get jittery about somebody, it's because they're very good looking. It's because they're out of your league. You don't get like that from people that are actually on your level, ma'am. That's the problem.
And as depressing as that sounds, I really needed to hear that because I feel like I'm getting in my head about this guy and I'm like, oh my gosh, he's so mature and he's so emotionally available. And I don't know that. I don't know that that's true.
Okay, ladies, this is your quick sign not to settle, because I went on a date with a guy who was really lovely and he bought me sourdough bread as like a cute little, first date gift, and I thought that was really sweet.
Let me guess. You think you're a princess and you deserve so much more than that. Why? You have no reason. Just because you exist. I can bet on it. Let's see.
10 out of 10. However, I've just been on a date with a guy who picked me up from London and drove me back to Liverpool so I didn't have to mess about with public transport.
And from now on, every guy that she dates has to do at least as much as this guy. From now on, what this guy has done for her is the bare minimum. This is why I tell you guys don't date women over a certain age. Because you have to compete with all her previous relationships. You have to compete with all the guys and everything they did in that relationship or when she was dating. And you have to be better than all of them.
And if that doesn't scream, if he wanted to, he would. I don't know what does. So, yeah, dating is fun and women...
What if the first guy just doesn't have that level of money, ma'am, to drive you to wherever and back? What happens then, ma'am? Oh, he's not good enough because he doesn't make enough money for you. Can you see their logic? They have no logic, guys. We're just going to skip this video because it's very stupid. So many videos skipped today, guys. So many.
What are the most common misunderstandings that you think modern men and women have about each other? If you were able to pull a chip out of one sex and give it to the other?
I would want women to understand the power and influence and importance that they play in men's lives. I think that gets lost in conversation. A good, loving woman is quite powerful in a man's life if he also loves and respects her.
True, but nowadays it's very rare to find a woman like that.
Also think that if women know that they're appreciated and that they're valuable, and just their presence and their love and their attention goes a long way. And I think that I would want men to know that there's far more value in who you are beyond just what you can offer on a piece of paper. And just the value in showing up and being present and being loving and being available.
Okay, so from the start, I can tell you that's very stupid. Why? Because I know there are so many simps in this world, so many guys that gave everything for their woman, did everything to make her happy, and she still wasn't happy. So you giving this advice is very stupid, ma'am. Because a young guy seeing this will just think, oh, well, if I do everything right, and if I love her enough, I will be happy. And that's not the case, ma'am. You have to understand as a young guy's women's nature.
If you are in your 30s and you're single.
Okay.
I'm gonna let you in on a little secret.
Why are you whispering?
Bitch, that is so chic. It is fashionable. It's fashionable. I'm calling it. It's fashionable in 2026 to not have a man on your arms. If you have a man in your arms, he's gay. You know what? Make it 2 gays, 1 on each arm, because they are elite. We love the gays, we love the girls, and we love the gays.
The way that she talks, from the way that she moves her hands, I can see that she's very entitled. And she swears. From the start, when I see women like this, I don't care how they look, I'm repulsed by them. And any man that sees a woman like this and how she acts and how she talks, and he still thinks that she's hot, my guy, you're the problem. We're just going to skip this video because
Fight the fuck down.
Rhea needs to admit she exists for male entertainment.
He's got something
Everything
to say.
she does, every living breath she takes is for male entertainment. She suffers from histrionic personality disorder, HPD, which makes her crave attention from men. The male gaze on her feels like a persistent orgasm. She knows men watch her every move, listen to her every word, and she gets off on being judged and objectified by men. Would we
You cannot buy a Hilti tool at Home Depot. You cannot buy one at Lowe's or at any hardware store in any country on earth. You cannot add one to a cart on Amazon and have it delivered tomorrow. Hilti does not sell through retailers or distributors. Hilti does not put its tools on shelves and wait for customers to find them. If you want a Hilti, a salesperson comes to your job site, or you walk into a Hilti center, or you call a number and talk to a human being who knows construction. That is the only way. There are no shortcuts, there are no workarounds, and increasingly, Hilti would prefer you did not buy the tool at all. It would prefer you leased it. This is the story of a $6 billion tool company headquartered in a country with 40,000 people that built its entire empire on a business model every other manufacturer in the industry considers insane. In 1941, two brothers opened a mechanical workshop in a garage in the town of Schaan, in the Principality of Liechtenstein. Schaan is a town of a few thousand people, wedged between Austria and Switzerland in the Rhine Valley. Liechtenstein itself is 160 square kilometers. It is one of the smallest countries in the world. It has no airport and no military. Its population in 1941 is approximately 12,000 people. The brothers are Martin Hilti and Eugen Hilti. Martin is 26 years old. He has studied mechanical engineering and automotive design at the Wismar Engineering College in Germany. Eugen is 30 and has been running a small machine shop and car garage in Schaan. Together they form Maschinenbau Hilti OHG. The company produces equipment and components on contract. Gear wheels, mechanical parts, whatever their customers need machined. The wartime origin carries a dark history that the company has acknowledged. Martin Hilti was involved with the Volksdeutsche Bewegung in Liechtenstein, a Nazi-sympathizing movement. He edited the movement's newspaper, which published anti-Semitic content and named Jewish refugees who had fled to Liechtenstein. In 1941, he volunteered for Waffen-SS training in Germany. He was not deployed to the front, but returned to Liechtenstein, where his workshop's connections to Nazi Germany helped win production contracts for the German war machine. The company grew to over 100 employees during the war, producing almost exclusively for the German armaments industry. At the end of his life, Martin Hilti acknowledged having served what he called an inhuman regime. The history is
As a YouTuber, one of my biggest inspirations are all the weird nooks and crannies that exist on this website. I love looking into stuff like creepy videos with no views, deep YouTube, the weird stuff on YouTube Kids. I feel like finding the dark sides of a platform that you interact with every day is always an interesting concept. So when I decided to cover YouTube Shorts, I expected it would go much like my other videos exploring the other facets of YouTube. I was expecting to find some creepy, unexplained videos, some strange accounts that might end up being ARGs or art projects, and maybe the odd mystery. But what I found instead completely subverted my expectations. It was honestly a little shocking. I had heard that AI was becoming an increasingly big problem on YouTube. In fact, YouTube even recently implemented some changes to their monetization guidelines to address the problem of AI content on this platform. But speaking as somebody who basically exclusively watches long-form videos, I was expecting this change to be because of trends like QCat AI or all the AI creepypasta narration channels. Little did I know, the problem of AI slop on YouTube is very much centered around YouTube Shorts. When I first loaded it up and started scrolling, I was expecting to see the same sort of content that I saw on TikTok back when I did a video about that platform. But what I saw instead was an endless barrage of AI-generated junk. Don't get me wrong, the visuals in the videos themselves very often weren't AI-generated, but the narrations and the scripts very obviously were. And I don't mean like an odd AI-generated video within a sea of legit content. No, I mean the majority of videos I came across on YouTube Shorts were AI slop. Almost every clip I scrolled on followed the exact same weird format, with the same uncanny awkward voiceovers and overly stimulating brain rot editing. These videos often get surprisingly esoteric and surreal, not just in their strange visuals and storylines, but also the weird trends they all seem to follow, which I guess kind of fits in with the theme of my channel. But the main point I want to focus on today is the downfall of this section of YouTube, or as I like to call it, the AI apocalypse of YouTube Shorts. But why is this happening? Why are so many accounts making these strange videos, and why does this only seem to be happening on YouTube and not on TikTok or Instagram? To answer those questions, and we are going to answer them, we've got to start at the beginning. When YouTube Shorts first launched in 2020, it wasn't exactly a passion project from anybody at Google, but rather a feature that the company was pretty much forced to implement. TikTok had been exploding in popularity, and it was clear short-form vertical content that you could just mindlessly scroll through on your phone just may be the future of online video. Every other major player in the social media space would also implement some sort of short-form content section on their platform. Even Reddit now lets you scroll through videos in the same manner as TikTok. With YouTube being the video platform on the internet, it was no surprise that they too would eventually become part of this new online video paradigm. For the first few years of its existence, the content on YouTube Shorts didn't really differ very much from the other short-form video platforms it was competing with. The only real difference was that YouTubers would often make shorts specifically to advertise their long-form content, which was a trend that was obviously much more pronounced on YouTube than any other platform. Another interesting unique quality on YouTube Shorts was that all vertical videos uploaded to YouTube at any point in time that were less than 3 minutes long were automatically converted into shorts in November 2024. Meaning you can scroll past shorts on YouTube that date all the way back to 2011, making the back catalog on this platform much older than its competitors. In the last year or so though, a new trend began picking up steam on YouTube Shorts. Not one that was necessarily unique to the platform, but one that definitely appears to be much more prominent on Shorts in particular compared to every other short-form video app. AI-generated slop. Now when I say that, I don't necessarily mean completely AI-generated videos or slideshows of AI-generated images. Those definitely are there as well, but I'm talking about something that's a little more subtle and hard to notice. Like I said earlier, I never really got into watching short-form content personally, so when I decided to research a video about horror on YouTube Shorts, my plan was to go in with a fresh account and start scrolling until I find some interesting stuff. This sort of blind research usually takes a while to do, and I was ready to dedicate a significant amount of time to it, but I almost immediately began to notice a trend. It seemed like every video I scrolled past showed some clip that can only be described as a sort of internet highlight, like this sort of thing you would see while scrolling through Instagram or Twitter. Just random, vaguely interesting clips with some sort of mass appeal to them. All of these videos will be accompanied by awkward but well-recorded dialogue explaining what was happening, with extremely stimulating editing, complete with subtitles, sound effects, and clip transitions flying by seemingly every few seconds. While a little stilted, the narration would always explain what was going on in the clip in a way that was obviously trying to keep the user watching, usually alluding to something intriguing that was about to happen in the clip. And then, the videos would often just kind of stop. Sometimes something interesting would happen and then the video would end immediately after without having any sort of resolution. It's a little hard to describe, so I'm just going to show you an example.
This dad made the biggest mistake ever because when he challenged his track athlete son to a race and was confident that he still had it, he didn't realize dad's strength doesn't apply to running. Just wait till you see what happens.
So that video is 14 seconds long. 12 seconds is spent setting up the situation for the viewer, acting as a sort of introduction and not really anything more. A grand 2 seconds at the very end is spent rewarding the viewer with the payoff, and the clip just kind of ends during it. Many of the details described in the intro, like how it was a race between a father and son and how that son was a track athlete, are essentially unnecessary details that are irrelevant to what actually happens in the video. And on top of that, the overall narration doesn't even seem to be describing what's really happening in the clip. The narrator says that it's a race between a dad and his son, but only his dad runs with the sons cheering him on. It's clearly not a race. And in an older upload of the same clip that I found on a different channel, minus the bad narration and brain rot editing, we can see that this is described as a dad failing when trying to do a long jump, which is a much more sensible description for this video that's completely different than the brain rot remix of it. It made me wonder, why would somebody take this video and just make a worse version of it, with an added dose of dishonesty on top of that? I mean, can you believe that somebody would just lie on the internet like that? The account that posted that video is called Snap, and they have many other uploads, all of which are just videos farmed from other parts of the internet with bad editing and lazy narration. That dialogue, by the way, while it may sound real, is actually generated with AI, specifically with a service called 11 Labs, but we'll get more into how these videos are made in a little bit. Every clip here is basically the same. There's always an overly elaborate setup, often with irrelevant details, and the payoff to that setup is always unsatisfying. While in the first video we talked about, something did happen at the end of it, sometimes nothing happens and the video is just completely pointless. I'm not kidding. Like, look at this video for example.
This girl was just a few inches away from winning the championship, but then stumbles over the cones and is quickly losing her lead. But what she did next was absolutely crazy.
The video is obviously trying to show you how this track athlete tripped but was able to recover and somersault over the finish line. But they show that happening 3 times while alluding to something more that's supposedly gonna happen. But nothing does, and they just show the same clip for a 4th time and then the video ends abruptly. This sort of editing and writing style is engaging, but when you don't leave the viewer with a resolution for the scenario you use as a hook, they just leave the video feeling teased and dissatisfied. And that was the general feeling I had while using YouTube Shorts, because believe me, it wasn't just this account posting videos like this, not by a long shot. I was shocked by the sheer volume of AI narrated slop I found on Shorts. It seemed like every second video I came across was one of these unsatisfying clips, and I was able to make a list of 30 accounts that were posting stuff like this in only 10 minutes of scrolling. And no doubt I could increase the length of that list exponentially if I were to spend more time looking. While Snap mainly focused on videos of sports and other kinds of physical activities, the range of content you could find in these AI farming accounts is practically endless and reaches across just about every genre and niche you can think of. Of course, the most common theme though is that Mr. Beast genre of content. You know, videos that don't really have a specific style, just stuff that's purely crafted to succeed in the algorithm while literally taking nothing else into account. Like this video.
When this guy decided to start tidying up his garage, he went totally overboard with the soap. Before long, the entire space was packed with thick foam. At one point, when he tried handing his friend a beer, he had to rely on memory just to find the fridge. But how did he even do that?
This one is so unsatisfying that it even seems to cut off at the end. Like there was supposed to be more of the video, but it just ends in the middle of it. You'll also notice in this one that it says, "Don't click the sound" in the description. This is another trend you're going to notice in these videos. The descriptions often say that. I'm pretty sure the reasoning here is that when you do click the sound, it just redirects to another video. In the case of the soap clip, clicking the sound leads to the following video.
When this girl showed up to the burger joint, she found out she could get one for free if she could beat the waitress in a simple game. All she had was a straw and a deep breath, but something felt off because the fish, let's just say she wasn't playing fair. And just like that, this girl walked out with a free burger.
If this stuff is starting to appear a little surreal to you, don't worry, you're not alone. This video doesn't make any sense at all. For one thing, the arrow at the beginning is pointing to the wrong person, and the story of course devolves more and more into nonsense as it goes on for its brief 15-second run. Many of these shorts are just like this. The editing and the narration often don't match up to the original clip, but in an odd way, it almost makes them unintentionally entertaining just because of how weird they are. Take this video for example. Based on the thumbnail and the description, you would assume that it's just a towel getting squeezed out in an oddly satisfying manner, and nothing more, right? I mean, what context is even needed for a video like this? Let's find out.
Whenever this wife has dried herself off after showering, her towel always needed ages to get dry again, so that her husband one day built an own drying machine for her at home, which turned out to be so satisfying that the wife thought she should start her own company and sell it to the masses, while letting the husband do all the work for her. But unexpectedly, when she started, she got away with less than 2 sales and 0 likes.
Believe it or not, these videos get even more surreal and weird than this. After scrolling past quite a few AI narrated shorts, I finally stumbled across some horror content, discovering a channel called Mr. Gen Mind. After the call to subscribe to the channel, more brain rot into these shorts. Terrifying horror movie creature rising example to explain what I mean. Of views and are all essentially into a cat worm.
White Cat focused all his power and turned his rebellious older brother into an impotent and useless catworm. He was then rendered docile, and the two pets could finally
this
coexist.
seems kind of familiar. Yeah, so we made this video using some of the same techniques as add those auto captions all these videos have, and falls at the intersection of 2 other niches. One of them being the AI finance niche, which is a group of people who find ways to generate content using AI to make money online. And also the YouTube metagame niche, which is a subsection of creators who make tutorials about how to grow your YouTube channel. I am really not a fan of this YouTube meta content in particular. They always treat YouTube purely as a game of hitting certain statistics while often completely ignoring the art form of video creation itself, which is kind of important. In my mind, success on this platform is really as simple as consistently making good content that other people want to watch. You don't need to worry about taking advantage of cutting-edge AI tools or copying Mr. Beast just because some so-called YouTube guru told you to. I got a little off track there, but the point is, there's an entire community on the internet that's completely centered around making AI YouTube Shorts channels purely to make money. Making a channel like this is no different than somebody launching a crypto coin. It's just become another online get-rich-quick scheme. The comments on these tutorials are filled with people spouting motivational self-help nonsense about how they're gonna manifest their success and how we're all gonna make it in 2025, which is the same sort of drivel you'll see in other get-rich-quick communities online. Almost every weird trend you'll see in these AI videos are because of how the people making them are only concerned about getting views and not about making good content. The way they cut off in an annoying way at the end, that's because ending the video at the climax rather than after increases the percentage of your average view duration, which is also why these videos all tend to just kind of lead you on. YouTube Studio app, but part of that fun is because I'm excited to share something cool I made with other people. If I was just knowingly making garbage that people watch but didn't actually like, I wouldn't feel any passion for this and YouTube would just kind of become the same slog through the day that a 9-to-5 job is. By the way, we still didn't answer why this AI content is mostly a YouTube problem and not so much an Instagram or TikTok problem. Well, that's because YouTube just pays more than those platforms. In this survey from 2024, a cross-section of different online creators most commonly said that YouTube was a platform that earned them the most money. Whether or not there's hard evidence to back that up doesn't matter, because YouTube has a reputation for being the highest paid platform, and thus that's where these short-form junk creators tend to focus their efforts. Starting on July 15th, YouTube changed some of their monetization policy to better catch people who are just uploading garbage AI content, which has always actually been against the rules of the YouTube Partner Program. While hopefully these changes will disincentivize people to make content like this, I unfortunately remain a bit skeptical. There's not really a lot YouTube can actually do to automatically flag these videos. How is YouTube supposed to know if a video is ripped from another platform and it has an AI voiceover? Sure, I have no doubt they'll be able to catch people who are just reusing the same narration for multiple videos, like Blake's style, but that's also really easy to get around. It would take less than a minute to ask ChatGPT or Bing to rephrase the script and then plug it back into 11 Labs. And then bam, completely new voiceover that won't be picked up by YouTube's automatic content moderation system. The only way I can see YouTube consistently being able to stop this problem would be if they found a way to somehow detect an AI voiceover and then flag it. But that would harm people who are using AI voiceovers in their legitimate content.
Look at what they did to my boy. They even took his chin. It's no longer even the X-Men, it's just Team X now, because inclusivity, obviously. Needless to say, everyone knows, Insomniac's newest game, Marvel's Wolverine, is completely fucked. There is absolutely no question about it. In fact, we have known this for a year, because roughly a year ago it leaked that Sweet Baby Inc. is in full production, baby. That's right. And it's Insomniac.
With your saucy host, Gianna Capri. Tonight we see Aaron Rourke, the men's Evolve champion, defend his title against Max Abrams. Aaron is a strong champion, and I think he's got this one in the bag, as long as Max doesn't have any friends come visit him at ringside. We'll also see Cam Hendricks and Harley Riggins versus Noam Dar and Romeo Moreno. Listen, you guys already know that I'm afraid of Cam Hendricks, okay? I think he could take out all of them by himself. But Harley Riggins is also kind of scary. He's a big boy, so I think they got this one in the bag. We also have Xena Sterling versus Anya Rune. Ugh. Xena Sterling's gonna win next. Elijah Holyfield had quite the impressive debut, but tonight he goes one-on-one with Brooks Jensen. So I'm curious to see how this one's gonna go, because they're both tough competitors. And last, but definitely not least, Tristan Angel
back well for 2 years. For us, it's a chronic condition. Anyway, what do you guys think of all this? Who do you agree with more? Let me know in the comments. And if you made it to the end, comment LARP to let me know so I can show my gratitude, because I really appreciate the people who don't cut out early. Subscribe to stay tuned for future
like the actual corporation.
Huh?
No, not him. It's some other guy.
Hey, hey!
Oh my god. Like the actual.
Bro, no way! Bro!
Insomniac, so even if you don't believe it, I ask why? Why would you not believe it? That's the same company that made Spider-Man, and Sweet Baby Inc. was involved there. We got a literal mini-game where you're not playing as any Spider-Man. Not Spider-Man Peter Parker or Miles Morales Spider-Man. No. We got a mini game where you're playing as Death and you have to experience the world through their whatever. Yes, it was bad. Okay, it was very bad. This is Mary Jane. No regrets. Also, Spider-Man 2 is a financial flop by Sony's estimate. So that's at least good signs. But I mean, look at my boy. Look at what they done to him. This is just sad. They took the least threatening man to ever be possible to play this. And even then, they still reduced the chin to nothing. My god! My god, this is not good. I mean, seriously, every angle from the side is just atrocious and bad. It's not even funny, boys, at this point. I want to cry, but I will not because that's not manly. In any case, We already saw Jean Grey. Yeah, you like this? You like the Phoenix of the Ball? Huh? Do you like this? For some reason, her pulvers are also purple. Again, every single Vogue game for some reason just makes everything the color fucking purple. Dragon Age Veil will not, because yeah, you like this? You like the Phoenix of the Ball? Huh? Do you like this? For some reason, her pulvers are also purple. Again, every single Vogue game for some reason just makes everything the color fucking purple. Dragon Age Veilguard, purple, 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 purple. Every single Vogue game has this. And they decided to represent her pulvers also with the color purple, which I don't think has ever actually been done. She has only been represented with colors when it's Phoenix time. And in the old X-Men animation, it was blue rings and shit. When she used her telekinesis and, you know, whatnot. And now it's just purple dank. What is this? Why? Why do they constantly need to do this? She looks, needless to say, horrendous, okay? At least we're not gonna have to worry about Wolverine being a simp for Jean Grey, because, I mean, there's not a lot to simp over, you know what I'm saying? It's pretty bad, okay? Oh man, if you gave her regeneration, she would still not be, would be bad, and it's not looking good, boys. It is what it is. And people are noticing a lot of things. For example, this jump animation. The fact that this jump animation is pretty much almost a 1-for-1 from the Spider-Man games. It's not exactly a 1-for-1, but it's very close, okay? And in general, there's a lot of problems, okay? There is a fundamental amount of problems because even Reddit, even currently Reddit is not exactly happy with what is happening with the Wolverine game. And when Reddit is mad and not ecstatic about something this diverse, epic, and brave, you know it's bad. You know it's gonna be bad. A lot of people are saying that this just looks like Spider-Man, but Wolverine, and honestly, it kind of seems true. It kind of seems this is just another Insomniac game, the same way that every Dark Souls game is another Dark Souls game. But in the case of Dark Souls, you're buying Dark Souls, so you're expecting a Souls-like game. But here you're buying a Wolverine game, and you're not exactly expecting to play like fucking Spider-Man. You know? Kind of a serious letdown for a lot of people. And yeah, it's quite a popular opinion, honestly, that that's happening. Also, it gets a lot worse because we do have some situations where the developers are talking about what's happening and why it's happening. I'll just give you a quick snippet of this because this is kind of insane.
The other visual element of Marvel's Wolverine is the blood. The blood tech that was put into this game is pretty phenomenal.
There's a part in the trailer where Logan jumps down and then he does the claws up through the face. That one I thought maybe was going to be taking it too far, but I am so glad that we have it. It looks fantastic.
Yeah, that is... she gets introduced at the start, I think, of the video, but then anyway, she's kind of a big shot of actually what's happening here. She is Jess Rayner Reed, project director Insomniac Games. Yes, the project director of a Wolverine game is saying that stuff like this is too much. Needless to say, that is like one of the abysmally highest red flags ever. But it gets worse, because it always does in my videos, isn't that sad, honestly? And it gets worse through this, because we have a pretty substantial IGN article where they interview the developers. And this is from July the 3rd. And I have never seen anyone talk about this, because this shit's long and very, very boring. I read through all of it, by the way, and the only takeaway is probably the start, the very first question about the blood. And it's, again, very, very telling. The IGN report asks, the level of gore and blood is extreme, which as a Wolverine fan is fantastic, but was there any question over the violence? I love how they always lie that they're a fan of something, because then they instantaneously try to make you change it in a way that it was never meant to be. Because we have seen family-friendly versions of Wolverine before with different audiences in mind. How the hell do you make a family-friendly version of Wolverine in the first place? I'm not sure, but there we go. It would be great to get some insight into the decisions to say we're going to go for it. This is an M for mature game. And this is, by the way, just what these people do. They're clearly trying to guilt them into removing the gore, removing the blood, and all of these effects, which, by the way, has semi-worked, it seems like. Needless to say, just from this clip alone, because the game director is, yeah, gore's bad, boys. It's violent bad. And there we go. Mike Dele responds, from the inception of the project, we knew that the number one most important thing was to bring the Wolverine franchise to life. Not just that, but make it the ultimate Wolverine fantasy. Yes, and your game director literally wants to cut back on the violence. The ultimate Wolverine fantasy, indeed. And when you look at the aspects of the characters and all the stories we've been through in his history, it was clear that violence was a key part of that. This is something you shouldn't even mention as someone who even has seen or read anything Wolverine, because yeah, violence is always the key aspect of it. No questions asked 100% of the time. Also, we haven't even talked about Mystique. She also looks like she's 45, childless, and posting a lot on Twitter about how her life is the best it has ever been. It's all just so tiresome, honestly. So that was never really in question, and it was kind of baked into how we made decisions from the very beginning. So we know that we are going to have to bring that out in gameplay. Put it in your hands as a player, make it part of the story. It sounds like, honestly, their intention, they made a game and they're now putting in violence in because it wasn't there in the first place. This sounds a bit dodgy, honestly. But at the same time, Insomniac Games, we want... at the same time, Insomniac Games, we wanted to have a grounded world with believable things that happen. And this is an important part, by the way, a very important part. So we didn't want to go over the top. So, when you combine these sentences, these beliefs, over the top, gore is bad, everything that they said, that they just said about this, what the Floyd said and whatnot. When you combine all of this right here, you honestly start to think and believe that the gameplay that we saw with all of the blood and whatnot is gonna actually not be common. That it's gonna be very tame kills most of the time. It's probably gonna be like stab in the chest or something and you don't see anything and they just fall over. Because this doesn't sound like they actually are gonna even want to give you something with blood and gore. We really wanted to hit the bullseye on what is the best representation of Wolverine. Of course. What delivers fan expectations, and what's going to keep the claw combat action satisfying over the whole course of the playthrough. So these are the things we celebrate. So those are the things we celebrated against. What? Calibrated against. What a strange way to say it. Also, I don't think I have ever read this word aloud. Nice. You can see the result for yourself because we put it in the trailer. The way I would describe it is that we were unapologetically violent. Again, it's so hard to believe that all of them are against violence in everything that they have said, but the game's actually going to be as violent. I think it's fake. I think, honestly, it's completely fake. When the game actually releases, they're going to tone it down a lot. And these executions and those brutality things are going to be way, 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 way less common. We knew that it would have to accomplish. That in order to accomplish our ultimate mission, and because of that, the gameplay retains satisfaction. Now, all that being said, we know that that's not for everyone. This is the super important part. And because we know this was going to be a big part of the game from the beginning, we also implemented an accessibility feature to turn off gore. That's right, boys. No gore, no blood, no spiders, no white men, no white people in general, okay? No flags except the rainbow flag. Okay, those are all the accessibility features we want. Dude, they have an accessibility feature for everything. When is it gonna be not enough? Did they actually, by the way, at the end, did they implement that Subnautic accessibility feature for people who are afraid of the water for the water game? Did they? I don't remember, but that was a plan at one point. It's clearly integrated into the game in a lot of different ways, and so it's it's a nuanced feature that is very select about what we show, what we censor, turned off blood and things like that, just in order to make it more palpable to people who don't really want to have that part of the experience. You're playing a Wolverine game. Like, if you're interested in doing stuff like this for something as basic and simple as a Wolverine game, you cannot be trusted. Even if all of the garbage, the sweet baby ink stuff never happened, this alone, the fact that this is the way that they think, would mean that they cannot be honestly trusted. Also, there's a lot more, but all of this is very boring. You can read it, it's an IGN article if you feel like it. I would say don't waste your time, because even Reddit doesn't agree. And people are actually I found this. People are saying the same thing as I. Unapologetically violent. And then they call out all the things that they do. Like, even Reddit thinks that. Yeah, this is not gonna be good. Well, it is what it is. They took his chin, might as well take his balls also. Anyway, thanks for watching. Like the video right now. Thanks less than a second, and have a nice day. Did you like it? Like it now. Less than a second. Bye!
biochemical herbalist as an emotional tampon. And then they decide some ugly motherfucker is like the hottest guy ever in her eyes, and she's like, having sex with him, and the rest of you, she's so not attracted to you that she would kill herself if she had to date you. Okay, you're just ugly. And so when a woman rejects you, she's basically telling you like, it's not that you're my type. I literally like cannot fathom the thought of like even kissing you would like send me into like a nightmare hell where I want to like off myself. Right? That's what she's saying. She's like, I want to kill myself. It's like, you know what? Don't bring Islamic bullshit. Instead, have it this way. Let them just make their choices. Let them be free. And their suffering feeds me as an energy vampire. Their suffering. Their can go like rub my grandma's legs, 100% of the time. I'm fucking 38, bro. Okay. Oh, now women are looking at me because their husbands. Have you seen the average Bulgarian? They're all fucking bald. They're all fucking shaved heads, bald. Imagine walking like that. Imagine just like me walking around looking like that. You just like walking like that. Can you fucking imagine? And trust me, like the average Bulgarian, they have like a beer gut, and I'm talking like beer gut. Okay, like worse than I was. Or they're fucking frail, thin. They just like fucking ugly, disgusting. Like, I'm not saying I look like Brad Pitt, but like, she's one bad day about deciding I'm bored, and she. After a few years, after I'm done with all the vacations, you're paying for my haircuts. Hey, hubby, give me $50 for a haircut. Hey, hubby, I took your credit card and I got a haircut. You want to know how much it cost? $50. $50 for a haircut. Hey, hubby, I bought some, makeup for $100. Fucking enjoy. And after all that, after all the vacations you've given me, we went to Dubai. I've been looking at other guys, right? We went to Dubai. Oh. Now I'm not feeling it anymore. I'm just like, you know what? It's time to take your house away. It's time for you to go live in an apartment, and I'm taking your house away. And also, you gotta give me half your salary every month. And I'm also taking the Range Rover. I wanted you to buy me a Range Rover, and now I'm taking it. Okay? And now I'm taking everything. And that's the experience of dating McRoasty, okay? And frankly, if you want to know the truth, apart from my wife, I would not take a chance on a human woman. I would. You have to be mentally. You have to be insane. This movie, like, it's showing you how complete losers of society complete losers of society are like just getting free love like super easy mode. They're just playing on tutorial difficulty. They're just like, okay, you got a girlfriend now and she loves you and she has sex with you and there's like zero effort, there's like no hardship. And then there's you and you're like, the only way to get a girlfriend is like a satanic spell. And then she's like, you've committed a great sin. Aren't you ashamed you've committed a sin? She liked you as a brother. That's sick. You're making her have sex with you. Even though she would sleep with any random guy on the fucking bar, right? Even though Nikki, it was implied that she was casually hooking with his friend, right? But it's a great sin if you sleep with me. It's a great sin. I saw you as a brother. And then you casted the spell and slept, even though I was like casually sleeping with everybody in the club, right? But for you, it's a great sin. It's a satanic sin. You're gonna burn in hell forever. So yeah, that's the experience that awaits you. That's the fucking experience. And it gets even more blackpinning if you're like a good-looking tall guy. You think like you're gonna be happy. No, you're gonna see girls that wanna date you because you're tall and they're fucking small. So if you have children, your children are gonna be fucking small because she's a fucking midget. And she only likes you because you're tall. She only likes you because you're tall. And the minute you get crippled or something, she is out of here. Next to the other, I want to date a tall guy that reminds me of my daddy because I'm fucking a mentally ill bitch. Right? And it's like, here's the difference. Here's the difference. Is Megan Bain hot because she's tall and Lena Cross is hot because she's tall? Yeah, sure. Does that mean that she's the one for me to marry? And no. Oh, it's hot that you're tall, but it's not like a deciding factor, right? But with women, they're fucking mentally ill. They are, in fact, mentally ill. And that's how you end up with the idiocracy over here, where it's like they're using tile adhesive, tile cement for like structural repair. They're using it like in the bathroom. Like let's put tile adhesive when we put the toilet, but it's like water is gonna seep through. It's not water resistant and it dries super slow. This is not the proper thing to use. Retard.
Are you in a gang now? No.
That's how you end up with this fucking idiocracy over here, okay? That's how you end up. Ugh. And if you ask me, just fucking what was I talking about? 43 minutes of talking, bro. If you ask me, I would immediately like pick some like pick some woman that like looks attractive, right? Pick a woman that looks attractive and immediately fuck her shit up with like satanic curses, just like kill her soul, kill her real self, her soul, and just replace her with a demon. Just make a pact with a demon and just like make sure the demon goes inside of her and like takes over her body like completely. I'm talking like complete demonic possession. And you just like marry the demon in a woman's body. And you're like, oh shit, I'm married to a demon in a physical woman's body. And it's like, you're gonna be happier forever and there's no bad ending. It's just like, you're just happy. Good ending, okay? Congratulations. You unlock the secret good ending where you don't have to deal with human bullshit. Okay. Wow. Uh, and I'm telling you that with 100% like, uh, if my wife left me, if my wife, which is the best, left me, and I was like, I would just be absolutely just fucking devastated. Like I would just be like, I would never like look for like other human women. Whether I would just literally do some fucking satanic spells. I don't care if you don't believe in it. I don't care. I would fucking put in effort, make the spells, invite a fucking demon in the human. Obviously, a demon that likes you, like a female demon that likes you, right? You find a good demon that likes you, female. Okay, you don't want to get at the penis, right? Find a demon that likes you and just like make some kind of a pact, black magic, some random sexy human woman. The demon kills her soul and just like takes complete control of her body, and she just comes. She just comes out of nowhere. She's like, I love you. She starts kissing you and just like, yeah, there you go. And you have children with her, and you're just like, she will never say no to anything. She will never. Obviously, you don't want to cheat on her, like be like an asshole to her, right? That's like the only way you can fuck it up, right? It's like Bear wanted to like, I want to be in the toilet alone. You can't come in. It's like, let the woman come in, bro. It's your fucking wife that you love so much. Let her in the bathroom. It's okay. She wants us to be next to you. Okay, cool. Let her in, bro. Just like Bray Wyatt used to say, let me in, bro. She's obsessed with you. Let her in the toilet. Let her sit next to you when you're taking a shit. Big deal, right? If it was me, if it was me in the movie, I would be absolutely fascinated. I'm like, no way, you're like a demonic. I mean, she's not the demon. She's like a separate personality. But I'll be like, damn, you're like a magical personality created. How. I would like talk to her every day. I would have her like do chores. I mean, fuck. I wouldn't have her like do like annoying chores. I'll be like, help me kill people, right? Just like, hey, lure these guys so we can kill them, right? You can see like how good she is, like the demonic Nikki. She's like, she kills the girl in cold blood, and she's like, okay, we gotta hide the body now. She's like, she's a fucking soldier, bro. She's like, she'll never betray you to the police. Are you fuck? That's like the best thing, the most important thing about a woman. The best thing that she's like, yeah, okay, I'm not gonna snitch to the police. I'm on your side. I love you forever. I'm gonna hide all these bodies. I don't give a shit about them. She doesn't have any feelings, no regret. Just like, okay, we gotta kill this woman. We gotta hide the body. Okay, I love you. She's fucking perfect, bro. Are you fucking kidding me? Like, dude, with that woman, you could have been like robbing some rich fuck. Like, she would take care of all your neighbor problems. Like, she's like the perfect woman. Like, tell me, where are you going to find a woman that's like okay with like killing someone for you, and she's like, yeah, let me help you bury the body, and she's not gonna like be emotional, snitch to the police, betray, you know? She's like, yeah, I love you. Okay, we killed someone. Okay, I love you. You know,
struggling.
It's like, bro, tell me, will your current girlfriend kill somebody for you and be like, yeah, I'm cool, you know, I'll do it again, you know? No. So you see that you see that demonic Nikki is literally the perfect woman. And all he had to do was fucking, you know, service her between the legs and, you know, pet her and kiss her on the mouth and tell her he loves her and fucking wash her up when she gets dirty with blood and she's like drooling. Just fucking wash her up, okay? Get a paper napkin and fucking wipe her face. Oh, she's gonna stare at me obsessed. Why? Okay, big deal. Cool. That's cool. That's hot. Let her stare at you, bro. What the fuck is wrong with you? Okay. I mean, I'm sure Rhea Ripley does that without being demonically possessed. She's just like standing, looking at Buddy while he's sleeping. She's like looking at him. She's like, I should kill you. You ruined my life. Getting married to you ruined my life. I want to kill you, buddy. Oh, man. But, bro. Like, dude, bro. It's so. Like, what are we doing, bro? What are we doing, right? You have the perfect girlfriend. Oh, I don't like how she's moving. Like she's moving possessed, and the faggot wages are wage cooking again. They're making noise. They're breaking rocks again, right? Like, dude, having a psycho girlfriend that's like obsessed with you and loves you, that is the number one, the best deal. That's like you got like the unique sword in Diablo 2. Congratulations, you got a unique. You got a unique. You wanna switch back to the blue item or to the yellow item? You wanna switch back to plus 20 enhanced damage, or you wanna have the unique sword? How about that? And my uncle had a girl that was like obsessed with him when he was younger. When he was in his like early 20s or something. I don't know. Late 20s. I don't know. And he had a girl that was like obsessed with him, one of these yandere girls, right? Just like Nikki. And she was like, if I can't be with you, if you don't like me, I'm gonna throw myself on the street. And he's like, I don't care, like, you know, do it. It's like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? You should have kept that woman. You should have been kissing her feet. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? Do you think if imagine your buddy Matthews and you tell your lovely wife Rhea Ripley, hey Rhea, go to the neighbors and try to seduce him and like cut his neck with a knife, and she'll be like, what? You think she would ever do it? You think she'd go, yeah, okay, you hate this neighbor, I'm gonna go slash his neck? You think she would ever do it? She'll be like, what? What the fuck is wrong with you? Go put the toilet seat down, you know. She does not give a fuck. Girl. Like, yeah, you think some random woman that's like settling for you, you think she's gonna like go seduce and lure someone and kill someone for you? No. You get the yandere GF, you get the fucking psycho that's like obsessed with you. She'll be like, yeah, if you want to kill somebody, if he's a problem for you, making you suffer, yeah, I'll do it. Right? And that's why you always get the yandere psycho you want a woman obsessed with you, okay? Obsessed with you. You want a woman that's obsessed with you. Everything else is fucking. You might as well pay a surrogate. If you don't have a woman that's like obsessed with you, just pay for a surrogate and be like a single dad. Just like, don't even spend money on hooker. Just like hump a pillow. Just fucking hump a pillow. Use your hand. What are you doing? What is the point? You tell me. No, just tell me in the comments. What is the point? If you don't have a girl that's like obsessed with you, and she's willing to like do things for you, and she's not like bitching and rolling her eyes at you, what is the point? Let me invest my time and vacation money, and let me give her like a fun ride, and then she's off to the black guy, right? There's no point. You might as well just be like, hump your hand, just like use your hand, bro. Nobody fucking cares. So some women are gonna call me an incel. They're mentally ill. They're zombies. They're soulless. Their opinion doesn't matter. Okay. Anyway, so it's time for me to do some chores. Look at the wobbly clouds. All the clouds. Boy, and I'm gonna do some chores. I gotta make protein shakes. I gotta work out. Gonna make a little like YouTube short. Maybe I'll do some falling push-ups. How about some falling push-ups, huh, guys? How about some falling push-ups? And have a great day.